Hello everyone, it is I, Riffraff Hornhelm, and I'm back again with another presentation from the Dwarven Vault, and today we have a monster review. And the monster we're going to be talking about today is the SPECTRE. No, it's not a super secret organization that picks on British secret agents, but it is a very interesting creature that comes from the original monster manual as used with Dungeons and Dragons and Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, or what's commonly referred to today as 1E. So let's talk about the SPECTRE for a moment. The SPECTRE is a very, very rare creature. You only find one or two, and they're ones that, like the Shadow and some other creatures that are out there, they're connected to the prime negative material plane. The negative material plane is one that well, I don't want to go into a discussion about planes right now, but it's where the most of them exist primarily. They touch into the prime material plane. And by being based out of the negative material plane, it helps provide them some of the powers that go along with some of these specific creatures. Now, we talked about the Shadow in another review, and it's also another creature similar to this, and this one has an even more deadly power than the Shadow does. If it touches you and you do not make your save, it will drain 2 levels from you. That's permanent. Now, when I say permanent, it doesn't mean that you can't earn them back through adventuring and whatnot, but it is a permanent loss. It's not a one that goes away after a few hours. And that goes along with a commensurate loss of hit dice, etc. And that's pretty nasty. They're also a very fast-moving creature. They can move much faster than a human can, which makes them very hard to avoid. Now, they do still have to hit you, and they do some physical damage when they hit you as well. I believe it's 1 to 8 points of damage. They don't have any specific magic resistance, but like many undead, especially those that have such firm footing in the negative material plane, they are immune to things like sleep, hold, and charm spells, and cold spells don't do them any damage. They can be hurt by plussed weapons or by things like holy water. A raise dead spell will actually destroy it, though it gets a save versus magic. That's pretty good stuff there. That's not a lightweight. This is a 7+3 hit dice creature. So it has a fair amount of endurance as an undead creature. Now, once again, a SPECTRE can be turned. And that's what we're talking about, are undead creatures that can be turned by clerics. Any of the negative material plane creatures, and there's other ones out there, are ones that are very, very difficult to deal with because they have things like strength drain, as the Shadow does, or in this case, energy drain, where it's taking out levels. Levels, people! Oh, it really, really sucked to get hit by one of these. No two ways about it. But again, as a dwarf, we stay the hell away from undead. We don't like undead. We try and avoid adventures that might bring us into contact with undead. They're spooky critters, and they do really, really nasty damage. I don't like them at all. Not at all. And, of course, to make it even better, or worse, or however you want to look at it, if you get killed by a SPECTRE, you come back as a SPECTRE. You come back at half strength to a SPECTRE that killed you, and it controls you after that. Alright, that's pretty nasty stuff. I have to say that as a dwarf, I'm really happy if I don't have to interact with SPECTREs. Now, as a dungeon master, and in talking to the greater Hornhelm community about this, SPECTRE's a very, very effective creature in any kind of combat. And it's tough to hit, tough to turn, and it does the kind of damage that I think makes players wet their pants. Nobody wants to lose levels. Any kind of a creature that can yank levels off of you is to be greatly feared, because as players, everyone knows how difficult it is to advance in levels. And having a creature that just touches you once, it can only do up to 8 points of damage, but it can take away 2 levels. If you get to 0 levels or 0 hit points, then you become a Spectre. So low-level characters, best advice I can give to you is run like hell. They're fast, too. The Spectre is. So really, run fast. Fly. Do something. Get in the light. That's one thing that Spectres cannot survive. They cannot survive direct sunlight. Kind of like a vampire. So, avoid these. If you're low level, avoid these. Run away. Kind of like the Lish. You don't want to be around. Now, in talking to that greater community, the DMs that I spoke to that have used the Spectre have said, oh yeah, this is a tough critter. They ranked it around a 6 or a 7. Players were ranking it like a 9 or a 10. But that's because they were petrified of the idea of losing multiple levels. They did not like Spectres. And I guess I understand what they're saying, because they really are. They're high up on the chart. They're difficult to turn, so you need a powerful cleric to be with you. And they're very, very difficult to avoid because of how fast they move. With the powers that they have and that combination, that's nasty. And that, my friends, is the Spectre. We hope you found this informative, entertaining, enjoyable, all of the above. If you did, be so kind as to leave us a like. Consider subscribing. Share with your friends. And most of all, come back and see us again real soon. We very much appreciate your support. Thank you kindly. Take care, everyone. Remember, dwarves rock!